Hey guys, this is E. McMinn and this is Path Who I Am. Today I want to talk about doing what's necessary and floating along ahead. So this idea comes from a podcast episode I just got to release called A Light and Gentle Focus. And really the central idea of it that I want to expand on further is when I have this light and gentle focus moment to moment in my life, and I can set that up by having practices in place that I can do each morning, each evening, like for me, Wim Hof method, and different ways of coming from a new and gentle awareness every day that allows me to have this light and gentle focus that is unreactive, it's non-reactive, and it allows me to do what's necessary, do whatever is needed, moment to moment, automatically, and then just continue floating along, right? The more I can just float along, do what's necessary, and keep that lightness, the more my life is just gonna work out. It's just gonna make sense. I'm not gonna craft a hardened, brash narrative of how life works. I'm just gonna kind of let all of that go by. Each person I interact with, whatever state they're in, I don't view it as a reflection of me per se, positive or negative. If it's positive, I may more so. But if it's negative, it may just be a person that I observe neutrally. And I just go, oh, interesting, right? And so whatever tasks come up for me in the day, I just get to tackle them as needed, as I like, as I see fit. And I get to keep floating along, right? That sort of cool, calm, collected approach, I find really leads me to, paradoxically, even though I don't need to identify with what shows up in my life if it's negative, right? I'll often have more and more positive representations of things that show up because I'll naturally just sort of move in the direction of what works more and more and more. And I'll have the mirror of reality show things just clicking into place more, right? Like for me in my own life, I have a doggy that I care a lot about that got cancer. And he's a young dog, and we just lost our other dog. But this dog, you know, he's just such a lovely sweetie, and we've gotten him some really good treatment. And it's funny because, you know, he's covered in a lot of hair, right? This thick hair that makes him look like a mountain man. But so we were told that the chemo would make him lose his hair, and it was you know, sad to hear about that. But lo and behold, we've been giving him his treatment, and not only has he been feeling a lot better, but even when he lost his hair, it was revealed, oh my God, he has this gorgeous golden fur underneath. So he has a whole nother set of fur. And for those that don't know, dogs don't lose their hair when it's fur. So they'll only lose actual hair. But because he had the fur underneath, it revealed this whole new layer. And yeah, it's just an example. You know, things just, there's just these interesting, when I get to kind of flow more and more and float along, I'm going to notice and appreciate these amazing things that get to show up, right? Like my dog getting to not only feel better, but even the hair loss, it ended up, you know, he has the perfect summer haircut. And going into the future, you know, I suspect he'll want to be kicking for a while longer here, but you know, we're gonna shave his hair every summer to just reveal his fur, right? And just letting it's kind of this principle of letting things work themselves out. Things will work themselves out if I let them. If I put myself in the right place where I'm non-reactive, I'm not going to have some negative reaction to something and go down a series of negative downward spirals that results in me creating destruction for myself, creating havoc in my life. Instead, I get to just experience everything as it comes, positive and negative, And by having that light, gentle focus, that non-reactivity, and just getting to do what's needed as I float along, I'm only going to get, as I've talked about in other videos, positive benefits out of everything that happens. Someone may have a negative reaction to me and I don't react and I just observe it and I go, oh, that's interesting. There's something going on there, right? So this negative reaction piques curiosity. It allows me to gain greater wisdom. And so no matter what's happening, whenever I get to just float along with it, I get the positive benefits, and then guess what? Positive results come out of it. So my reality is the upward spiral. And the more I spiral upward, the harder it is going to be to do anything different, right? Because when the momentum goes in one direction, it's more and more likely to only go in that direction. The same goes for negative momentum, right? I can have that negative momentum that goes down and down and down. So it actually makes it the hardest in those moments to reset and switch. People do it all the time, but it's that sort of principle. So I get to do what's necessary and float along, do what's necessary and float along. And I just move up and up and up and up. And there's this sense of knowing, there's this sense of, I know exactly what needs to be done. Everything's all right. And regardless with what happens, like with me, you know, my sweet baby boy getting cancer, you know, that's not something that I prefer, right? But being able to do what's necessary and continue to float along, it helped us get him treatment because we decided that was best. We knew that was best when we reset ourselves. And yeah, and he's better than ever, right? So this is just an example. It's not always going to be the ideal thing showing up, but it's always going to be the thing showing up that I need. If I can view it from that perspective, things get a lot lighter. If I view every moment is everything that exactly what gets to serve me in my next step of growth, then I get to start using every moment in that way. And life really starts to get magical. Everything gets to be a gift, right? So anyway, guys, this is doing what's necessary and floating along with it. I'm Ian McMinn. This is Path to Who I Am. I'm going to be doing some retreats. I've already mentioned that. I will be updating. You guys will be the first to know with new developments. I have a couple locations in the Mountain West region of the US. I will be giving more specifics on that when it comes time, but I'm really excited to be doing in-person retreats because I love providing the theory on this stuff, but I really want people to get to enter into a retreat experience and then come out the other side going, oh, I understand how I flow more. I understand how I myself, the student, flows more. And I can do that better, this much better, this much better in my life now that I've gone to this retreat, right? That's really my vision. So that's going to be my central focus. And I'm still going to be teaching on here and doing videos. I'll be doing more consistent content again. Just uploaded a podcast episode, so feel free to check that out. It's in the description on Spotify. And yeah, guys, we'll be talking more soon. I appreciate you.